Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
I always ask, how did Mayor Tifffany Henyard get to be the mayor and the supervisor of Dolton Township? I kept on saying there had to be some form of corruption before her. There had to be some form of a status quo going on, and they trusted and believed that she would carry this on, right? I was saying, well, who are the supporters of Tifffany Henyard? Why was she elected in the first place when we seen the way that she was carrying on in trustee meetings when she was a trustee? We saw that she was a slumlord. Like we saw different, we knew that she had a criminal background. There was all kinds of red flags that were set in place that we can see, right? And we don't even live in Dolton, right? But I wanted to know who were people that was in support of her. And I searched high and low everywhere because I wanted to find her supporters because she had to have supporters to be put in office, right? Well, I found some. And today we're going to look at some of the people that actually support Tifffany Henyard, right? And support her administration and why they support her administration, right? And I'm doing this exercise for a reason, right? And I'll talk about it at the end of the video. But I believe that it's important that we get a chance to see both sides of the argument, right? So black people and in the positions like us, we can learn from who we should have in office and who we shouldn't have in office. But first, let's look at some of the charges that's being levied against her by the federal government. Let's look at some of the questions that the federal government is asking, because she hasn't been charged with anything just yet. But let's look at what the feds are giving her 21 days to show, and then we'll come right back.
New developments tonight in the criminal investigation happening in South Suburban Dolton. NBC5 News has confirmed another subpoena was delivered at Village Hall earlier this week, requesting specific information about Mayor Tifffany Henyard and other key figures in her administration. Our Regina Waldrop's been on this story from the beginning. She takes a deeper look tonight at the records that federal authorities are requesting and what's next.
A source close to the investigation provided NBC5 with this copy of the latest court order. It asked for a variety of financial reports like budgets, accounting records, and receipts for Mayor Tifffany Henyard, Village Administrator Keith Freeman, and Trustee Andrew Holmes, as well as several other companies and individuals. Plus, any records related to Henyard's charitable organizations. The subpoena also requests all travel records paid for by the municipality, including a trip taken to Las Vegas in May of last year. On that trip, both the mayor's former assistant and a Dolton police officer. They've both filed a civil lawsuit accusing Holmes of assault and battery and Henyard of retaliation. Regarding the lawsuit, the mayor and Holmes both declined to comment. The first two grand jury subpoenas were served April 10th, asking for personnel and disciplinary files for nearly 30 people. The subpoenas also ask for documents related to Keith Freeman, the village administrator recently indicted on charges of bankruptcy fraud. His attorney told us he has no plans to step down. A few days ago, the law firm representing the village in at least 19 lawsuits in Cook County and federal court said it's planning to withdraw from the cases May 8th due to lack of payment. NBC5 has obtained a copy of the letter sent to the village by the Delgado law firm of Berwyn. 4 Dolton trustees recently appointed Lori Lightfoot, Chicago's former mayor and a former federal prosecutor, as a special investigator. The next village board meeting set for Monday at 6:30. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
So, with all the things that the feds is asking, because we saw videos of her carrying on and acting crazy, but let's look at this one guy, right? This one guy, he's in support of Tifffany Henyard. He showed up to the recent, on April 23rd, he showed up to the recent Dolton Township trustee meeting. And he had some choice words for people that's not in support of Tifffany Henyard. Let's check him out. We'll come right back.
You second the motion for Supervisor Henyard to be our supervisor. Why do you talk against her if you support it? The other question is it because maybe you didn't get contracts that you were looking for to do work in the village of Dolton. The second thing is, why do you vote no on the bills? Those bills do include payments that's for you as a trustee. I'm pretty sure those detail your payroll, and you continually get paid, but you vote no on the bills. Secondly, as well as you stop services that's for the residents of this township, senior services, youth services, but every week you vote no. I think you shouldn't get paid as a trustee for that. The second thing is our township assessor still having her office in Calumet City Hall? I believe that is illegal, and she should be here at the township. Some of the things I think that the news media didn't get to hear at the annual town hall meeting was that that we had a surplus here in Thornton Township, and I think that needed to be talked about. I found an article that was in the HR Chronicle, which is home with Flossmoor, and they talked about the $11.2 million that was in the, I'm sorry, it was $4.2 million surplus here in Thornton Township. I never heard the news media discuss that. Let the residents know that we have a surplus. We have been running a deficit for years, and it took our supervisor to come in for us to have a surplus. That was talked about. As well as for the entire budget, the general fund, there was $6.1 million surplus that was never talked about. But that article is in the Homewood Chronicle. You can look it up. They talked about it. Our local newspapers never talked about it. The local news never talked about it. So kudos to the supervisor, as well as those trustees that do support the things that are going on for putting.
Now, this man, he's going back and forth, and he wants questions answered from the trustees of Thornton Township. He feels as though Mayor Tifffany Henyard never got a fair chance. She came onto a place where it was already in debt, and her administration is the one that got the surplus. This is what he's saying, right? It's this thing is crazy. But Tifffany Henyard, she even went as far as to call out Zuccarelli and say that this is racism as to why she's been attacked in the manner in which she's attacked. She's saying that he was the one stealing money. He was the one that was having a township in debt. This is what she had to say. Check this out.
I remember I told everybody when I first became supervisor here that the previous administration and some of them sitting in the crowd was stealing. Did they want to write that story? No, they did not. Because white is right. Y'all wanted to keep that on hush, but nobody would say nothing. But I did. But nobody in the media was saying anything. And I hope you're recording this, Lance and John, and put it in your paper. Because I'm still telling that story. So now that I created a Tifffany on the Move podcast to tell my story, since don't nobody want to pick it up, and I'm being attacked by the media left or right, I am telling y'all my story. And truth will be heard on the podcast because no one wants the truth to come out of what they did before me. But while I took office, when I took office, we done a great job. We have got allocated over $15 million, but nobody wrote about that, right? Nobody else went and got that more money than me in the board here. We got $1 million to help the at-risk youth. We put them all back to work. We also gave out 80 scholarships up to $2,500. People have graduated and got jobs and will be working here at the township when they get out of school. But no one's telling you all the good things we do. Everybody want to make it like we're bad when they were bad. They were the one that had it before me and did nothing with it. Why was the number so low? Why wasn't they feeding people in the food pantry, but they were spending the money out of the food pantry, but wasn't feeding the people, right? But these all the facts and things that I'm gonna put out there just to lay the groundwork so people can know what to look for. Do not follow people because they so negative, because misery need company. That's what they need. So don't hang with people that ain't actually growing the community. Go talk to people that want to uplift the black and brown communities, the ones that's neglected.
I mean, but like I said, it gets this thing gets intense because also at that meeting, she had another guy that was on her administration and he was handling some of the budgets. And he got up there and he spoke about Tifffany Henyard, and he's basically echoed the same sentiments as the other man. And he was in support of Tifffany Henyard and her administration. And this guy's a well-known guy in that township. And this is what he had to say about Tifffany Henyard and the budget. Check this out.
First of all, I wanted to compliment the supervisor and the board for two years in a row of being in the black. When the supervisor came in, it was almost budget time, so the numbers were pretty much the numbers. She took over, I think it was a $4.6 million deficit. I ran the numbers from 2017 to current. There was a deficit every year since 2017. No one has discussed that. It's never been mentioned. The last 2 years we have a surplus, and these are audited reports. You can all look them up online. The other thing I wanted to do was compliment the staff. I did it in private. I didn't have the opportunity to do it publicly. But during the annual meeting, there seemed to be a planned attack to stop that meeting, which would have stopped a hell of a lot of services for seniors that depend on it. They tried to table the whole process, which would have probably stopped a lot of money from coming into Dolton Township. The staff did a great job holding their composure, so I really wanted to give kudos. It was a very hostile environment last meeting, for the annual meeting, I should say. And I just want to thank everybody for keeping it cool and no one making us look bad, or the supervisor or the board as a staff. Nowhere have I seen a meeting where so much disruption was allowed intentionally by the moderator. She actually thought it was funny. She was up there laughing. It was a planned attack so that these numbers and the fact that this township is finally back in the black after 2 years.
All that being said, a lot of that stuff now at another township meeting, right? There's always been pushback. And there was one man that spoke for Dolton and Thornton Township. And he said that they were unified in their fight against the Tifffany Henyard administration and the police department. So what we've seen is millions, thousands of videos of people coming after Tifffany Henyard, and rightfully so, right? Because we've seen the way that she's carried on. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to show both sides of the argument, because I kept scratching my head and wondering, like, how did she get in office in the first place if everybody is so disgruntled? We had already had to see chinks in the armor. We already saw her ship leaking oil. Why was she put there in the first place? That's an indictment on the community, right? But let's look at this man and what he had to say about her and her administration. We'll come right back.
We are not brainwashed. We are fed up. Hello. Nobody said that we didn't think mental health was important. We just don't trust you to fix it. Thank you. Now, in the last township meeting, we talked about this township still having a mental health service. I just asked about the budget, and I didn't get a clear answer. Can you provide the name of the person who leads this program? No. Next question. Are they qualified to be mental health service providers?
Somebody have answers? It's questions and comments. I'm gonna clear it up one more time. Questions and comments. This is not Q&A. Your original agenda said questions and comments. You need to learn the time.
All right. Never mind. If you would not like to answer, I understand, because you don't want to answer to anybody. Hello. You feel like you don't report to nobody when it concerns your decisions and behavior. Refuse to play your game. And even though you have trustees and administrators who support your obnoxious actions, and trust me, their day is coming as well. We will not support your protecting the splurging township money to destroy Dolton. We will not support your efforts to subvert democracy in that village, and we will not support your scandalous conduct as the mayor of Dolton that used the police force as a Gestapo unit. You out of all people as a black woman should know better. The people of this township stand in solidarity with our fellow township residents of Dolton.
Thank you.
You have done nothing to build a true relationship with the residents.
But some of Tifffany Henyard's followers will not be undone. And these township meetings can get real volatile. Because this guy, he wasn't trying to hear it. He was very upset with the way Tifffany Henyard has been being disrespected in the media by Dolton residents, Thornton Township residents, and he voiced his opinion, and he wasn't taking no prisoners. Check this out.
They didn't put you there. They didn't put you there. They didn't vote for you. They didn't vote for you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
I'm not finished. I can talk all I want. Secondly, I want this board, since we want an investigation, I'm asking the four trustees, please release the information about the employees that got all these bonuses off of the taxpayers. Release the information of the employees that got gas off of the township. Please release it. Please release it. Release about the $5 million deficit. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about the truth. Put the truth out. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. But that's what I'm here for. Instead of we sitting here trying to down her, we should be trying to uplift her, trying to help her. And there's so many people that wanted that seat, but they couldn't get a second. She got it. So support her. She ain't even been in office long enough. But I'm tired of it. You tried to make a show here, Trustee Gonzalez. You wanted this. You wanted a show. You put it together. But tell the people why you don't vote on their bill. Why you don't vote on their bill? Why? Why? Talk about it.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Talk about it.
Talk about you getting back.
We need to talk about the truth. And second, let's talk more. The reason why a lot of these people are here tonight is because of your senator. Your no good senator. Napoleon Harris that does nothing. Matter of fact, she sits on the board. Tell them about the bonuses you got, Stephanie. Tell them.
I will say this in closing. I will say this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You have a retired police chief down in Florida going in on her. You have, we've seen that she was a slumlord, getting money from housing authority when she, man, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. We see that she got elected officials that she put out their office where they had important documents set out. We've seen her chief of staff call her out for bad behavior and doing things that's downright illegal. We've seen these things. We've seen her argue with the former mayor as a trustee. We've seen her not be transparent with where's money been allocated, right? We've seen all of these things to the point where the federal government can see it and now they have questions, right? But with all of that being said, this black woman still has followers. She was still put into office. And me, a person like me, I want to know why. Because we always talk about we got to build our communities. We got to bring back blackness and black love and black economics and black this. But you can't just put anybody in office that's black. You have to put people in office that has a track record and a history of building things and being successful, having successful outcomes. These are the people that need to be in office, not somebody just because they're black or they're a black woman, a young black woman, and it's the time of the woman. No, get proficient, educated black women that know how to do the job, that have a history, a successful history of success in the endeavors. If not, why are they there? Why are they there? What did you expect from Tifffany Henyard and her administration? This is an indictment on Thornton Township. This is an indictment on Dolton. Why is she there? You mean to tell me that you don't have proficient black people that can get there and do the job? See, I call it out from both sides because as a black person, this isn't just Dolton Township. It's in many cities across America. And as black people, we gotta stop putting people, just voting for people just because they're black. We gotta get proficient black people. Black people that have a track record and a history of getting the job done. We need doers, not people that could just talk. So, I mean, I got to call it out for what it is, man. This woman's, as police, her police department following people around. I mean, the negativity that's going on in this town, that's going international, speaks for itself. I don't live there, but where there's smoke, there's fire. But to this day, she's still going to have followers. She's going to blame it on race. Listen, in this country, the mental fabric of America is racial. America was built off of racism, but that's not the argument. The argument is black people putting other black people in positions of black cities that can get the job done. That's where we should be in 2024. Black people that can get the job done, not just because you're black. But I'm going to cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Help my videos go out to the algorithm, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion? And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.